Hello, Growth Gang. I just recorded a podcast and I must be in a chatty mood because it went for like 20 minutes and I don't think I really spoke about anything. So we can try this again. But I want to tell you about the 2 Instagram audits that I did this morning so that it can help you out. And if you need more help, jump into the show notes below and you can jump into an Instagram audit as well. And I'll tell you more about that soon. But I want to tell you about the 2 that I did this morning because there were a few common things that came up when I was doing them, and I feel like I see this over and over and over again. So I was like, you know what, I'm going to tell my Growth Gang girls so that you can actually start to do the shifts yourself as well and just start to see actual traction happen on Instagram, because a lot of people are saying they're wanting to attract dream clients, they're wanting to make sales in their sleep, they're wanting their content to do all of the heavy lifting, but right now it doesn't feel like that. It feels like it's such a big task and it feels like it's taking so long and it gets so overwhelming because there's so many different things that you hear that then like procrastination kicks in, or you just avoid it for a little while, or you get overwhelmed and you're like, you know what? I'm just going to go and like walk the dog or like mow the grass because I don't know what to post. So hopefully this will give you some more insight into what is really important when it comes to content, especially when it comes to Instagram, because those are the audits that I'm doing at the moment. So when you think about content, what I want you to keep in mind is that all it has to do, in my mind, is 3 important key things. So the first thing that it needs to do is it needs to speak specifically to one person. So it needs to speak to your dream client, the active buyer who is looking for the solution and is ready to buy. So they're not in the phase of realizing they have a problem. They know they have a problem. They're not in the phase of like just sitting in the problem. They're in the phase of, okay, I know what my problem is, and now I'm actually ready to find the solution and experience the desired outcome on the other side. That's the person that you're speaking to. So right now, your content is probably still a little bit vague, and that's why it's not landing, because it's not telling one specific person how you can help them. Right now, and what I'm seeing a lot is, and the 2 this morning just sort of triggered me to like see, okay, what am I seeing across Instagram pages, and how could people just fine tune and dial in their messaging so that it actually lands? And what it comes down to is knowing exactly who you're speaking to. It needs to speak specifically to one person, because right now what I'm seeing a lot is friend zone advertisement vibes, where it's more so just talking about your thoughts, or the download that you got in the shower, or the service that you have. And it's kind of like back here in terms of your dream client, if you're watching the video, is like out here. That kind of content, it feels like it's not very close proximity. It's kind of like you're holding up just a sign and people are walking past it, and it kind of just says like, hey, this is what I think, or this is what I do. Now on the flip side, what you're going to start doing is speak really specifically to one person, one type of person, and also one reader as well. So one type of person, as in, I'm not just serving absolutely everyone and anyone that comes along. I'm serving women in business, moving towards online business owners. However, the IG audit's open to other industries as well, because I know I've got a lot of florists that I can help out. So that specific offer is open, but more so for online business owners who are wanting to scale to multi 6-7 figures, who are ambitious as fuck, they're hungry as fuck, they know what they want, and they're running really fast towards it, and they're willing to do what's required. Right? So that's the human that I'm speaking to, the type of human. But within my content, I'm also speaking directly to one reader. So I'm saying, you feel like this, not people feel like this. It's like you, it's not saying if you're someone who, you are the someone, right? That's the thing where a lot of people are trying to bring people in by saying like, if you're someone who struggles with nutrition, I can help. You're actually already wanting to speak to the person who is struggling with nutrition, for example. So it's that simple shift between like, if you're someone who, is there anyone out there who, like, are you a person who, rather than saying like, are you, if you are, you actually are speaking to that direct person. That's what I want you to keep in mind. Very, very subtle difference, but it's huge, because that's the subtle difference that goes from like your content to, oh my God, you're in my head. Oh my God, I felt this in my soul. Oh my gosh, it's like you're in my brain. I've had that said to me so many times. I'm like, perfect. The messaging is working because I'm speaking to you. Like, you who is listening to this, I'm speaking directly to you within content. I'm not just speaking to like, hey, if anyone's out there. I'm like, no, I know exactly the type of person, and I'm speaking to the one reader, that type of person who's ready to buy. Really, really important. So the who is important. The second thing is the how you help them. So here's an example of very vague, broad, label type of messaging. I help business owners grow their business. Yes, I do that, but how I do that is really important. And who, like we spoke about. I help women in business, likely in the online space, depending on the offer, who want to scale to multi-6, multi-7 figures, who are willing to do what's required. They're an established business owner, most likely. If not, then they're hungry to do what's required to get to where they want to go. They want to make sales in their sleep, right? They want to do all of the things. I could be here for 20 minutes telling you about my ideal client. And the way I help them do that is through social sales and mindset, as a broad kind of term, even in itself. So that's where that is just the first part. Like, even look at your bold title or your bio, or even like when you're selling your offers, look whether they're specific or not. So it's not just like, I help you grow. I help you be happier. I help you feel freedom. It's like, what does that actually look like as a life experience as well? It's really looking at that A to B transformation and how you actually help them go from their problem to their desired outcome. And then how your specific thing helps them get there. So if you think there would be a billion other coaches who help business owners grow, business owners feel stuck, as broad as I can put it, to they want to grow. Let's, in the most broad sense, that is what it looks like, right? But one coach might do it through shadow work. One coach might do it through emotional intelligence. One coach might do it through building out automated funnels. One coach might do it through social sales and content and mindset. One might do it through like EFT tapping and manifestation. So it's really thinking, what's that specific vehicle that you actually have that gets them from the problem to the desired outcome? And then are you showing that through your selling and your content and all of the things? And then are you going even deeper in terms of the problem and the desire, right? So this whole A to B transformation, I teach this in Dream Clients on Tap, which is included in Master the Game. So I'm going to leave all of the links below if you want to dive deep into this transformation process, if you haven't before, because it's eye-opening in terms of knowing exactly who you're serving and then how to speak to them and show them that transformation. So if you were to think about the person is stuck, for example, like I said, they're stuck, they're wanting to grow. What does stuck look like? Does it look like they wake up and they go to post and they don't, because they don't know how to write content, because the last time they did, it didn't land, and then they've made it mean that no one wants to listen to them and that they suck, when really all they have to do is dial in the messaging, speak to the dream client, dial in the messaging, speak to the dream client, know how to post. And then the dream clients will be flooding into the DMs saying, oh my gosh, you're speaking directly to me. Where is the link to buy? Desired outcome. Then you take your family on a vacation to Japan and you ski for 2 weeks and you eat ramen and you eat matcha, and that's the life that you live because you've dialed in your messaging and gotten clear on your dream client. See how I'm showing you the whole, okay, what does stuck look like? How do I get you from stuck over to here? What does here look like? That whole transformation, problem, vehicle, desire, needs to be felt and seen very clearly through content. So to recap, the first thing, knowing who you're serving. The second thing is this A to B transformation and your specific vehicle. Now, once you've got that dialed in, you're like, okay, yeah, I know exactly who I'm speaking to very specifically. I'm speaking to one type of person and one reader through content. I'm showing them the A to B transformation, how I can help them very specifically, not the vague, fluffy stuck to growth, sad to happy, whatever it looks like. Very specifically, I'm showing them my methodology, my vehicle of how I help them get there. That's the first part. First 2 parts. Then what you want to do is, once you're doing that and you're like, yeah, this is cool, this is good. The other part that I've seen is a lack of brand personality. And the reason why this is so important is because you know that there are more creators than there've ever been on planet Earth right now, which means that to stand out, it's not good enough to just be the most skilled, which is hilarious. It's not good enough to be the most skilled. It's not going to cut it that you're good at what you do necessarily. It will to a point, totally. But if you want to just trailblaze and blow the fucking thing out of the water, it's through brand and it's through personality. So here's what I'm seeing where people are missing the link, because I don't want you to be that person, is that they're writing so professionally and like factually that it's just not activating anyone. So they might go to a piece of content, it might be a post, and it's just so plain Jane written. It's like the words that you'd see on an information guide or a blog or Google or a fact sheet. That's not what we want to do. We want to actually really activate them, and the slightest things can make the biggest difference. So it could be tone of voice, right? Are you very philosophical and thought-provoking? Are you chill and just like chill? Are you really sarcastic and have heaps of humor, like heaps of cooked humor? Are you really loud and bold and direct? Are you really soft and dreamy? Are you playful and adventurous? Like, think of the tone of voice of your brand or your personality and just think, okay, how can I be more consistent with that and just share that tone of voice? I think so many people, because we go to school and then we get jobs where everything needs to be very professional and polished, and then we start our personal brands, and as we're building them, we kind of still do what we've always done, which is that polished professional thing, but you're losing sales because of it. So it's like, okay, how can I bring in more flair, more spice, more personality? Just like bring in the sauce to the salad. That's what I want you to do. So it might be through tone of voice. It might be through language, like specific language that only you use. It might be through emojis. Like you might do specific emojis that's like always your emoji. And what's really important is that, and this is just like for language in a post, it might be your colors, it might be your fonts, it might be the music that you're playing throughout your reels and everything. It might be amplifying that unique vehicle that gets them from A to B. There's something in that you can amplify even more. It might be even just like the visuals that you're showing, that in itself is going to position your brand in a certain way. So there are so many things that you can play with when it comes to brand, but it's really adding the personality. And the reason I say this is because the who and the how is the basis. But when it's just the who and the how, people aren't activated to buy. They aren't like, I need in. I need to be closer to you. I need to be in your energy, in your world. Like, I need what you have to offer. They know that you can get them from A to B, but it's not enough because they don't feel pulled. That's what the brand does. It creates that pull. That's what we want. Now, on the flip side, what I see happening as well is people are so focused on the brand, the connection, the personality, that they're moving into like influencer vibes, where it's like, oh my gosh, I'm obsessed with you. I love what you're saying. Your vibe's so cool. Like, your personality is just sick. Like, I can think of people off the top of my head, but it's like, I don't know what you offer. I don't know how you can help me. I don't know what your specific methodology is. I don't know like how you help me go from A to B. I don't know what the problem is that you solve. I don't know how you've helped clients in the past. So that's where the authority is missing. And this is where people pendulum swing. But if you can find something really beautiful in the middle, that is where you're going to just absolutely skyrocket, especially in terms of sales. When you're like, hey, I can get you from A to B, but also like, I'm a good vibe, so come and hang. That's what you want. You want the authority and the connection. And I teach this in the bonus that you get when you sign up to the Instagram audit before Wednesday, the 22nd of May. So in the Instagram audit, you'll get a whole page, and I actually did 2 this morning where I sent 2 whole pages of notes. So at least 1, if not multiple, if I get carried away, pages of notes on exactly what I would do if I was in your position, to just shuffle things around, amplify bits, take away bits that don't need to be there, so that you can really dial in and attract that dream client, so that the minute they find you and land on your page, they're like stuck in honey on your page, because they're just like, oh yes, it's so oozy, and they just want to chill there in the honey and just like binge your content. And then they jump into your DMs and they're like, holy shit, you are in my head. I need you in my life. I'm so ready to buy. Here is my cash. Take it. I just want to be in your world. That's what's going to happen. So you'll get the page of notes, so you can go and shuffle things around and just really know how you're being perceived from your client right now. Because right now you're like posting stuff, you're being consistent, but you're like, I'm not actually sure what people think when they land on my page. And sometimes it's a thing where, like, you know, when you're so close to something, you can't see it. That's what it's like with your Instagram page, because you're constantly updating the bio and constantly posting and changing the highlight covers and like adding in different language and positioning of copy. And then you kind of get to the point where you're like, I actually can't really tell like what it feels like to land on my page anymore, because I'm just in it all the time. So it's really cool being able to get a fresh pair of eyes, a different perspective, so that you can go, okay, I know exactly what I need to change. I know exactly what I need to amplify as well, make the good even better, so that dream clients are just so attracted, they want to move in, and then you're having higher cash months with more juicy sales. Because here's the thing, I want your Instagram to work for you. Like, I want your Instagram to be a sales machine, because that's what it's done for me in the past. I've built 2 Instagram pages that have become sales machines, where it's not this like, oh my gosh, I have to post again, and like, I'm so tired because it's not landing and nothing's working, and I have to like rip my freaking hair out just to get one person to interact or jump in my DMs or buy from me. Instead, it's like, oh my gosh, I just dropped something and people just like swarm towards it. That's the vibe that we want. And I've done it twice, so I know what works. So that's the first thing with the Instagram audit. If you join before Wednesday the 22nd, you're going to get early bird. So on Wednesday, the price is going to double. So right now it's only $55 and you get the whole page of all of the notes. Plus you're also going to get a bonus training if you join before Wednesday, which is called Ultimate Influence. It's part 2 of a training within my signature course, which is Master the Game. So my signature course teaches you absolutely everything in terms of Instagram. I've pulled out one of the most powerful lessons so that you can go away. You've got everything that you know you need to change and shuffle and just like fine tune and amplify. Then you're going to watch this training, which is going to give you the 3 magic golden trio of types of content that I want you to go and create that's going to convert clients through Instagram. It gives you exactly what each of the 3 are, plus it tells you exactly what you can go and create, a whole list of examples for each of the 3 things. So you will have like 6 months worth of content, which is so exciting. So that's exactly why I've paired these 2 together, so that you know what needs to shuffle, what needs to change, what you need to bring in. Then you've also got that training to back it up, so you can be like, okay, I know what I need. Let's go and actually integrate it. So join before Wednesday, the 22nd of May, and you will grab the early bird for the Instagram audit, plus the bonus training Ultimate Influence, which is so exciting. But jump into my DMs if you have any questions, _TheLilyHolmes on Instagram. Otherwise, I will drop all of the links into the show notes, and I'll chat to you guys on the next episode.